Welcome everyone. It's early morning, Christmas Eve, and welcome. It's almost Christmas. So yeah, I need some of this to get me going and to keep me going. It's early in the morning. It's still dark outside, but what a great day! It's a day of anticipation. Many countries, of course, they celebrate Christmas really here on Christmas Eve, and so it's a fabulous day. But the whole of Advent is about getting ready. About Christmas Eve, particularly, is one I love it. I've got certain things that I always do. Because I have to change that a little bit tonight because we've got we're going to kind of do something live at 11:30 tonight, leading into Christmas Day. But there's a lot of things I leave to the last minute, a lot of preparation. And Advent's all about preparation. Of course, when you look back, of course, what we're celebrating the birth of a baby. Yeah, not just any baby, but Christ, the Saviour of the world. But can you imagine what it was like for those parents, for Mary and Joseph, getting ready for a baby? They were away from home. Many of you will perhaps understand that, the people stuck in different parts of the world right now. But can you imagine that you're in a place where you don't really want to be, away from all the people that you want to be around, not in comfortable surroundings? Right now there are people parked in lorries trying to get home, stuck. They've got no facilities, they've got no food, they've got nothing. So can you imagine that in a place and in a time where there was very little anyway to have, and they didn't even have the basics that you'd want, and plus a baby was about to be born. Now, we can't tell exactly what day, a baby is going to be born. Not under normal circumstances. That can't be done. So the baby's going to could come any day. And so there's this sense of anticipation. The baby's going to come, sense of preparation, getting their lives ready. There's many important things in your life. What an amazing day was getting married. I mean, that just changed my life. But boy, was that nothing like when a baby was born into our house. When our firstborn came, it was like, why didn't anybody ever tell me that life would be like this? Life was completely different, completely changed. Everything revolved around that child. And actually, as parents, probably for the rest of your lives, everything revolves around your children. And you love it because, hey, what else? There's nothing greater in life than the gift of children. But it changed it. There is perhaps one thing that in my life that I would say was a bigger change. And that was when Jesus came into my life. You see, Christ was born of Mary. He came through that way, that God came into the world through that. And that's a picture of how God comes into our lives, that God comes into our lives. I remember in Luke's Gospel where, no, it's Matthew's Gospel, isn't it? It's in Matthew's Gospel when, it's Matthew 12, in fact, when Jesus is speaking to lots of people and his mother and his brothers were at the door and they wanted him. And people say, hey, your mother and your brother are out there. And Jesus looked around and said, well, who are my brothers and who my mother? And he looked at his disciples and says, you are. You're my mother and brother. And the whole thing about Christmas is that Christ came to be born into our lives, came to be part of our lives. And he says, whoever accepts me, whoever follows me, they're my mother and my brother and my sister. They're that family relation. and Christ can be born in our hearts. And Advent, as we've been preparing, maybe some people are preparing, they're thinking about Jesus, they're thinking about, well, what if I give my life to him? What if I let him into my life? I'm going to say it's going to see changes bigger than even getting married, even having a baby, because when Christ comes into your life, things begin to radically change. And I can't explain, but it's incredible. I can't explain to anybody the joy of a child. And I definitely can't explain, although I've tried on hundreds and thousands of occasions to people to explain the difference that Christ comes into your life. All I can say to people, hey, you need to experience it. You need to let Christ in your life, and then you'll know. Then you'll be through the other side of the door, and you'll experience it. And as Christians, we need to remember that, and we need to rejoice. This is a time of rejoicing. We need to rejoice in Christ. We need to rejoice in what he's done. We need to recognise that he's come into our lives, and he's in our lives, and he's not going to leave us. He's not going to go away. He's part of our lives forever, and we need to rejoice in that. We can rejoice in that even in the difficulties of today's circumstances, whatever we're going through. And I know people are going through loss, people are going through hurt, people are going through difficult times, people have got challenges with their families, with their jobs, with health, with everything around. But I want us to look up, and I want us to look within and see what God has done in our lives, and he's put Christ within us, and wow, are we blessed. Well, I hope you have a brilliant day in preparation. I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Some people will perhaps be on Zoom tonight at 11:30, and that'll be great blessing to me. Have a great day, and God bless you.